So basically, we're just gonna focus on like a defense for right now. We'll go over an attack. It's just gonna be like flip flopped, and I have it in like the USPS format with how I set up like quads and such. It doesn't matter. You can, it's whatever top quads you have, what bottom quads you have, whatever groups you have in certain positions. It doesn't even matter. It's just like however anyone does it. It's fine. But basically, to start out, most armies will always have like their 7 and their triple quad DPS go A. So right now, or I mean, it's kind of like becoming a little different. People are trying new things, experimenting. I know, like, I'm not gonna say anything like specific, but there's people that like trying out an extra quad DPS. We're taking out IGVGs. But right now, I'm just gonna explain like the most basic thing with all IGVGs and quads and like your 5 quad DPS and such, and your 4 kill squad groups. So every army knows we have a trio quad DPS and a duo quad DPS for the most part. Your trio will usually be in weak side. Now people make, they differ and stuff. And your duo will be in Oppo. Oppo being, we'll go on C point. I'll do it like in lanes. The inner lane will be where your 8 fights. 9 fight will be outer lane. This will just all be wide fight. So basically, how it goes is like your quad DPS, your trio quad DPS will always just play with 7, and your duo quad DPS will play in between 8 and 9. They'll rotate, like, they'll help the 9 fight wrap, and then they'll look in if your 9 is winning. So that's basically like how quad DPS works. To go over like main composition of like quad DPS, usually in like the trio case, we like to have melee in both trio and duo quad DPS. You can do whatever you want. It's just as long as you have those quad DPS there actually playing. And like the whole point of quad DPS for like 7, you guys are just trying to play on point for A with your 7, and you're just trying to see if you can stall that A point from getting ticked. Most armies cannot hold all 3 points because most attacking armies will just send more people over to the A point just to get a captain. There's no point in holding all 3. It's just like a headache. So like you should just mainly give it up if you start losing. Even if like 7 loses like one person or something and they start ticking, you can just give it up and you just main calm. I'll get into calming with like your kill squads and your main comms. So how we would do it is you have your quads. Uh, let's say there's a point right here. So this is where your B point would be on Brimstone, for example. We have like our circle here. We have our quads, and this is what we mean by quads. It's set up into like these 4 quadrants on the point. The flag would be in the middle. This would be your top left. This would be your top right. Your bot right. Your bot left. And we're just going to talk about main ball for right now. Whatever quads you have, it doesn't matter, 3 through 6, this is where they'll be playing, in these areas, these assigned areas. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to stick there the whole time. You can move around the point, especially if you're getting, like, plus, meaning plus as in, like, there's just going to be, like, a bunch of people, like, in here. Like, you have, like, their whole point team. You have, like, their whole, main ball in, like, your quad because they just crashed it. So, it's not about, playing your quads as much. It's about, um, knowing what quad you are assigned to and going back to that after a crash. Um, so we're just gonna go through crashes basically. Let's say your shot caller is like calling top right. He's calling a top right crash. How I want quads to play this. How I want you to path or run to the crash. That's what matters most because you can easily get body blocked in the middle and flag, and we don't want that. We want to get like good wraps on this. So we're calling a top right crash. If you're playing your quads, top right would actually just jump out. They would go out because that quad is heavy. Let's just say that there's a bunch of reds in your top right. Top right would jump off the point, and tick doesn't matter. Tick only matters if like you were a hard losing point, and they're just putting more people like healers on top. We'll get into that later. Um, so you can jump off point for like that split second because we're about to crash them anyways, and hopefully we just kill all of them. Um,
Don't tell me to die on point.
I mean that comes with soldiering, but don't be stupid when you're soldiering. It's like the like why soldier if you're just gonna die? Oh god,
I'm just kidding, Dylan.
stop. Anyways, so top right, we're gonna have you jump off the point, and you're gonna re-hit it. You're gonna go back in and hit it, and your IGVG is going to wall like this from the top, basically. Bot right will basically wrap this outside, and they will wall like this. Your bot left will go around the point and wall like this from the bottom. Your top left will just hit from the left side. And this is bot right or top right crash. And it basically just any point, any quad, it's all about just wrapping. I don't want to see like bot left trying to struggle because like this is like where a lot of companies fail. You if their crash is being like top right and your bot left, like that's the hardest crash you can get to possibly, and people will just like try to rush it and go through the middle of the flag, and you don't want to do that because you can get body blocked easily. And like let's say they're crashing, you can easily get body blocked and just trapped in there, and then they can just body block you even more and run you over while they're getting out. And we just don't want to do that. You're gonna miss the crash. You're gonna get body blocked. You're probably gonna body block some of your own people. This is why we have to wrap like this, so we don't body block each other going to a crash. Because like the whole point of like uh, we want to box them in. That's why I'm saying like our IGVGs especially. This is how I want you to ice wall on like a top right crash, for example. Um, if you don't make a crash, like let's say bot left is gonna be like really late because they were doing something else, or they were just getting like hit by spears or something. It doesn't matter if you make it to the crash as long as you wrapped it perfectly because even if your ice wall is not here, these guys are going to be coming out of the crash. They're going to be going to the bottom because like there's no one there. You can just meet your exits. So meeting the exits of a crash is really important as well. Especially like you have to know where they're going to come from. If we walled it perfectly, they can't go up top right. If we walled it perfectly left, they can't go left. We walled right, they can't go right. Only point they can go is to bot right, and our bot left can just meet them there. And so they're going to be half HP, and you would just have your IGVG there already, just walling again, and their your bruisers are just late deadoing. You're probably going to get that kill. But we don't want you to. What I don't want you to do is I don't want you from bot left running around frantically trying to get to that top right crash, and you just end up stamming yourself and getting no one because you just went straight into it and stammed yourself and you're in the middle of it. That's just not what needs, like, that's not what we want to happen. If you are late to a crash, you just meet where they're running away from, where they're trying to escape, and then you will get kills. That's all that matters. So let's say, for example, draw our circle. We're crashing bot left now. And so our bot left would just jump off a point and then they'll go back in. They'll wall from like the bottom. Our bot right would just wall from the right side. Our top left would just wrap this point, wall from here, and our top right would just go from the top. And so it's all about like, and this is just like the wrapping that, and you'll hear your callers like, let's get some wraps in this crash. That's what they mean. They don't want you to just straight into the crash and just like be in the middle of everything. They want your IGVGs to wrap and ice wall perfectly to box them in. They want your bruisers to body block their exits. Oh god, there is someone red. Oh, it's just over. Never mind. They want your bruises to body block anyone trying to get off the point. That's the whole point. Is just you're being fat and you're just blocking their exits. That's why we have to box in like this. So this bot left has to step off, or else you're just gonna body block your other group and they're not gonna get there. So just step off for a second. It doesn't matter about tick as long as we kill this crash. Now, here's the thing: if you don't kill anything in a crash, let's say we called that bot left, and we killed nothing. Instead of trying to Zerg, this is where callers kind of mess up, and even I have messed up. I'm still kind of a new caller. I am a new caller. We don't. A lot of callers will be like, okay, we're gonna Zerg right side, we're gonna Zerg top into top right, but we didn't kill anything. You Zerging now is just it's just free pickings for the other army to counter crash on you. And so like we don't kill anything over here, and we just call that Zerg right. These guys got out from this bot left crash. They're just gonna Zerg. They're just gonna counter crash you in this top right, um, and we don't want that to happen. So when we don't kill anyone in a crash, just get out and declump. You should already automatically declump. That's what your caller will say after a crash. He'll tell you to declump if you don't really get anything. And declumping means you just get the fuck off the point. It doesn't matter. Get the fuck off the point. Play your life, and go back to your quads. And he'll say like play defaults. That's what I say. I say declump and play your defaults. Play your quads. And so you just go back to we hit the bot left, and then we didn't kill anyone. Just go back to playing your quads and just wait for them to crash. Um, and the biggest thing about like if they're crashing and you're playing your quad, it's easier if you guys are not clumped up from like Zerging. If you're clumped up from Zerging, then you're just gonna body block each other. You're not gonna be able to escape. No one's gonna be able to charge away, and you're just gonna die. The whole point of getting out of a crash when they call like let's say bot right, they call bot right, and we're playing our quads. They're not gonna get anyone in this crash. They're probably gonna only kill like 2, 3 people, and even if it, and then maybe if this quad is actually like they know what's about to happen, because you can see like a bunch of red names. You start seeing like a bunch of red names in your quad. Just play off the point or play somewhere near the point. Like I don't want you to be larping off the point the whole war. I want you to be point stepping. That's soldiering. We're trying to get tick. The whole point for bruisers is to get tick on the point, even if you're not crashing. So if your bot right is heavy, I want you to play, top right. You can play top right. You can play bot left. Don't over clump because they're gonna see you over clump that, and you have to recognize if they're in your bot right and they see you exit off into another crash or another clump. I mean, another quad. They're probably gonna call a crash on you. And so when you declump, when you spread on the point, it doesn't matter about stepping out the point as long as you live. Hello? That scared me.
Hi.
Okay. Where is it? Sorry. Anyways. So like it doesn't matter if you have to step off the point for a little bit to get out of a crash. That's not what matters. That's what matters. If you're soldiering, there's good soldiering, there's bad soldiering. To find it, let me get this. So if they're just playing in your bot right quad and they're calling a crash there and you're just playing in that, then that's just stupid. Like there's just no reason for you to be here. You can get off the point and wrap top and just play there. You don't have to just chill in this. Like no one should be chilling in a crash. Like that's common sense. If you start seeing like a bunch of red names in your quad, you can wrap the point. You can go to another quad. You can play anything. That's why a lot of times bot quads will wrap around on the outside to top quads, especially if we're pushing the top, just to get out. And then like we want them to clump up in that bot right. Let's say if they're clumping up that bot right and they crash that, we want them to clump on that. That's like what defense is all about, is just counter crashing. So attack. I'll talk about attack for a little bit. Let's say we got our quads and we got our circle. We got our point. Attackers they're coming for the war camp, obviously. They're gonna want to push the top a lot. They're gonna want to Zerg you before they even crash a lot. because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get like these wraps on point into like other quads. They're trying to push you guys off the point, and they're trying to get you to clump up in like one area. So if they push you, they successfully push you, and then crash this, then that's just like a good play on them. That's what attack is all about doing. Is like you're trying to create that clump before, like, so you can crash it. That's why a lot of attackers you want to push the top, so you force all these guys off of the point, so you can start generating tick, and then you hit a clump where they're clumping up a lot. You hit a quad where they're clumping up a lot because they have to get out of their quad. And so, how point team plays it really, people kind of do it differently. We have 3 through 6 would be your quads. So like how I do it, 5 is my top left, 6 is my top right, 3 is my bot left, 4 is my bot right. 1 and 2 are basically, there's 2 ways you can play it, but I'm only gonna explain like the most simple one, like what everyone already knows really. Um, you have your one bruiser in group one, and you have 2 bruisers in group two. You guys are just playing. You're just plussing quads. Technically, you're just trying to kill people in these quads. You guys can go to top right and just bully people off a point. And then you like your group one bruiser is like your main bruiser. They're gonna be the ones that like also kind of cause crashes for your caller. And so, um, you guys are basically just always perma plussing a quad. That's but you have to be careful though, is because you kind of technically bait out a crash. Like the whole old macro was, what like the macro always changes. We went from 1 and 2 being like the guys that start the crash, and now it's kind of different. Like people still play that. 1 and 2 would like basically bait out a crash, so they would say your group one bruiser would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna crash top left," and then your caller would tell all your quads, "Okay, I've off that call. We're gonna call it like 3 seconds later." Your 1 and 2 call a crash. Their counter crash, the opposition would crash on your 1 and 2 point team, and then you would then call a crash on that, and that's how we would start it. Now we're not really doing that anymore. 1 and 2 is just basically just crashing with the whole army, and so it's just on your caller. Your point bruisers basically just help the caller, call like where the biggest clump is, where the best possible crash is. That's why you should always put like a really good bruiser that really knows how to play point a lot, in like your group one and group two. So, but basically, like 1 and 2, you just go wherever like a quad is weak. Like say bot left is heavy with like a bunch of reds. Your 1 and 2 can just step there and start like helping assist that, and then you knowingly that you're probably gonna get crashed on, and then we'll call a crash on that. Um, that's basically it for main ball. Like on point play, we'll talk about like how we push onto points and stuff. Especially with like kill squads. Let me get into that real quick. But it's all about just like play your quads after a crash. Like if you don't kill anyone, if you do, oh yeah, actually let me talk about that. If you do win a crash, let's say we called that top left crash, and we got our successful like top left successfully, ice walled from like this, top right ice walled from the right side, bot left from the bottom, and bot right from the bottom, bot left from the left side. We got that wrap. If we successfully boxed everyone in and killed them in this crash, then the whole point is that our healers who are playing the road, the bottom road, because that's where most of your healers will be stepping if your kill squad's like stalemating and not losing. That's where your healers, they'll be playing in your road. They'll be playing in like wherever they're coming from. Sorry, I'm getting DM'd. So if you win a crash, your caller will immediately tell healers to start stepping. And that is like what a lot of armies don't really get, like because we're too scared. A light player stepping on point, that just seems unfathomable. But like that's fine. Most of the time, if we call like a top left crash, or we just kill everyone in a crash, your caller will tell you to zerg to top most of the time. We call a crash. about right. If we kill everyone in this crash, I'm gonna tell wherever the remaining people are on point. Let's say the Reds are like playing left side. I'm gonna tell the army, okay, we're zerging into top left. Move to left side. Move to left side. Zerg left. Moved in top left, and that's like gonna be the point call, and that's where all of my blue army is going to chase. They're gonna chase these guys off point. They're gonna chase them into top, so that our healers, all of our healers, can step onto the point from our road, and they can start, getting even more tick. And that's what happens. You get tick so fast by doing this, but everyone actually has to listen, and you have to soldier. It's scary to be on point as a healer, but if we just killed everyone, you should be stepping as much as possible. Like, I have so many healers that already, like, try to step as much as possible, and we haven't even killed anyone on point. That's just being a soldier. But don't be stupid about it. Like, so just when you see, if you're a healer and you see that we want to crash, or your caller is like, really excited that we just want to crash, set that bottom point, and start generating tick. And we're going to win point really easily. And if we get it to like 60%, then kill squads are going to start coming in, and then we're all just going to all in. So I'll talk about kill squad stepping on point soon. But yeah, that's basically like when we win a crash. You just zerg. If you win a crash, you just zerg with the remaining people off the point. You just get them off the point, try to generate as much tick as possible. Your healers will start stepping. Light players start stepping bottom. Light players just step wherever you can if it's open. It's all about tick at that point. Hold on. Okay, so now I'm just going to get into kill squad. Alright. So we have these lanes that I just explained, kind of. Where we... oh god. I have these inner lanes that I explained. So inner lane is where 8 will play, 9 is outer, 10 is wide. And this is very important for like how Oppo, plays. Weak side's doing their own thing. They're just going to be playing in Bond now. So what we used to do, I think it's actually just better if I just use the map. What we used to do is we would have 7 playing, like if we got to C point, because this is where C point is, it's always on the left side. If we got to the 7 fight, the 7 fight would be like over here on C point. You'd be playing in ramparts, and this is basically just useless. Like, if you're attacking, this provides no value. If you're defending, like, it's just LARP. I mean, the whole point about 7 is just you're fighting a 5v5 or like a 7v7, 8v8 because of quad TPS. And it's just whoever wins basically just goes and hits healers. So, let's say we got our point. Get over here real quick. Gotta find my cursor. We have our point right here. We have our quads. Inner lane is going to be basically right next to the point. This is inner lane. This is where your 8 is going to be fighting. This is where your 9 is going to be fighting this outer lane into wide fight, which is just all the way out here, this whole area. 9 can be even wider most of the times. It doesn't really like... 9 isn't even really separated. It doesn't have like another line. It's just 8 and 9 get separated by like the inner lanes and the outer lanes. But basically, your 8 is going to be just right next to the point. You guys are going to... your whole main objective is that 8 is basically another like point team in quotations. You guys will step as much as possible to generate tick. And, Spear being as stupid as it is, especially now with bruisers that can't, grit walk anymore. You guys can just bully bruisers. Now, you can't just ego a bruiser by, like, trying to step on point and, trying to just, like, hit him with spear. Because they're going to see that and they're just going to switch to hammer and then just dog you and kill you. Warhammers just diddle heavy disruptors. They break the whole point of a heavy disruptor is that you are a tank, but you're not a tank when it comes to point. So 8, obviously we want you to step on point a lot. We want you to influence it as much as possible. But like the whole point of it is that you're fighting this eight fight. They're gonna be playing this inner lane with you. You're if you start winning, like if you start going past this mid line, that means you're technically winning. And Kill Squad's all about taking space for the most part, and providing like more ground for your healers to heal, and hurting their healers, like pressuring their healers. Eight really is necessarily not a healer hunter group. Kill squads, you imagine that all the kill squads hunt healers. Eight is technically not really a healer hunter like group, but they can go if they can catch like some healers off guard. But the whole point of eight is that you guys are too like point oriented, and your comp is not meant to kill healers. If you do kill healers, then that healer is honestly just not that good. Um, so what makes up a group eight is you'll have like a heavy SNS spear. You'll have two of those. Um, but now like eight can also have, a Warhammer Flail or Warhammer SNS, and then you have another IGVG. You would think this IGVG is just playing. He should be playing for point, but IGVG in Kill Squad is just pretty fucking good. You rend them, you empower your group, you give them stamina, you give them, you plague them. And for a disruptor, getting plagued, getting screamed is like one of the worst things possible because you're just always constantly getting hit by, a fire staff that just takes away all your or all your health. So the whole point of 8 is to just push this whole inner lane. That's the whole point of Oppo. And once you win your space, like you start winning space and you're pushing up them into top left, if you're on attack, then you can start going and just influencing point, this left side of point, which is like your strong side. And that's what we call strong side is Oppo. Weak side will always be Bonfire on C point. But usually people just say strong side or weak side, or we'll just call this Oppo. So if 8 is winning, like, and you guys are playing top left because that's where you want to play. Sorry. Anyways, if you're playing this top left spot as 8, you guys are basically like 1. It doesn't matter if you killed the group 8. Kill squad now is not about just like, if you can kill the group, then that's perfect. You guys hard win. But just stalemating is like a win because we don't want any kill squad hitting our healers. If kill squad's hitting our healers, then you guys have just are like, it's just doomed, and we probably have to like reset because our healers cannot heal our main ball because they're too worried about getting killed by kill squad group. If you can just stalemate out in like this midline, like let's say 8 is fighting 8 right here, 9 is fighting in like the whole fight right over here, 10 is just doing their 10 things, just playing over here. That doesn't really like. This is fine. This is fine. It doesn't matter if you guys are winning as long as you're not dying and you're losing space. If you're just fighting right here in this Oppo and no one is influencing, no one's going into your backline over here or over here, you guys will be fine. And now it'll just be a kill squad fight over here and a main ball fight on point. And that's what we want for main ball, is to not deal with any kill squad. So we have our circle here. We have our inner lane. So the whole point of 8, you push up, you play this top left. If you're playing top left and you've won group 8, like you've gotten a couple picks, you guys, your IGVG just becomes another point IGVG, and he will help assist crashes. 8, all you're doing is just looking at the crashes, looking for any lows coming off a point while stepping on point. And if you see like a bruiser coming off the point after like a crash or something, who's like half HP, you should be like foaming at the mouth, like just getting so excited to kill this guy because you guys can kill him. All you do is just trip him because he has no grit and he's dead if your IG is playing with you. That's why a lot of group 8s will be like, let's help this crash. Let's assist this crash. Now, what you don't want to do, they call the crash top left, and you've won your space. You do not want to be in the middle of this crash. That is not what you want to do. What you want to do is just be circling around this like a shark, waiting for any lows coming off a point. Now you can definitely trip people like playing around the point. Spears especially can bully IGVGs if you play it right, because now a lot of people are playing IGVG Void Blade, and And a lot of these Void Bladers are just running around the point hitting healers. And Spear, especially, like Group 8, especially, you can just, if you see a IGVG like playing like in this inner lane, you can definitely dog them. You can Spear just counters IGVG the most. They can't really block the sweep unless they're really good IGVG that can use their IG to block, but because that counters Spear. But as soon as you start seeing like a Void Blader like have his Void Blade out, a Spear should be on him immediately. Now what Group 8 doesn't want to do, what Kill Squad really doesn't want to do, is like you start seeing like just a random person coming over here, running past you, and just like one disruptor, let's say, one disruptor is running past you, and he's going into our healer lane like over here. We don't want to, as a Group 8 or just as a Kill Squad, we don't want to chase that guy if it's one person, and chase him all the way into our road, give all this space up so that their Group 8 can just push up, and their Kill Squad and all quad DPS can just push up. And so now they're playing, you're playing all the way, point is here, you guys are playing right here, all of their Kill Squads just right here. And them being right here, having all this space, just applies so much pressure. So imagine the 7 fight is right here. This is the only amount of space we have for our healers. And we don't want that. We want our healers to have like free roam. We want our healers to be, able to, play like all the way in oppo, like right here. We want to like have this whole space in the 7 fight and bonfire. If they are able to just free cast this whole area in oppo, that means you've already like hard won oppo. That's even better. But what we don't want to do in most Kill Squad groups, if there's just like a single Void Blade or a single, disruptor like running past you, hitting healers, that's just unfortunate, but like you shouldn't give up your space for that. Our quad DPS will kind of deal with that. They'll deal with the Void Bladers right now. But right now, like Void Blading is just like, if they're especially if they're not a quad DPS, they're kind of just uncontested. You can't really do anything about that. That's why your quad DPS are the ones that usually like look at that. A whole Kill Squad group can't be dedicated to just hitting a Void Blade right here. That's why they just get free roam, and it's so like impactful for a Void Blade to be like as a quad VG IG. Oh, for a Void Blade to just hit them and this hit your healers. It's really annoying to deal with, but that's just like the thing about it. Now, if you're Group 8 and you have like that single guy, they shouldn't be able to push past you. You should be dogging that person immediately and dogging them as much as possible so that they can't push past you. But it's okay if only a single disruptor pushes past you. Like your healer should not be able to die to just one single disruptor, especially a Group 8 disruptor who's playing like a spear. They can't keep up with a healer. So Group 8's all about just like pushing up, not playing in our road, not necessarily playing in their road. You can play in their road, you can play like this top area, but you're basically like just stepping on point and just hitting any bruises being annoying, hitting any IGVGs being annoying, and just helping tick point up. Now 9 is like your bona fide healer hunter group. You guys are going to be in this whole area just running around, trying to kill light players, trying to kill the healers. And so, oh my god. So we're going to be playing, this is point, inner lane. This is going to be like outer lane. And 9 fight, we're doing an attack right now. But it's basically the same macro for defense, for the most part. 9 fight, when we do a push, your whole push is to just go wide and hit their healers and their light players. As a Kill Squad, we do not... Oh, hello. We do not want... we do not want to get wrapped by their 9, and so now they're just automatically able to look at our healers. Their quad DPS will be wrapping with them. Your duo quad DPS who are playing with you, it's like usually it'll be like a spear, or it'll be like a fire staff and a spear, or 2 fire staffs, whatever you have. They should be wrapping with your 9 immediately, and you guys are all about wrapping the other 9. And if you don't wrap the other 9, that's okay. We don't want to die on a wrap. We don't want to separate ourselves. Um, so now you're playing in this outer lane, fighting other 9. Now what makes up a 9 right now? Greatsword used to be in. A lot of people are not running Greatsword anymore. Some people even running Warhammer because of how clumpy fights get in Kill Squad. I don't really recommend it unless you have like just an absolutely cracked player to do that. I think a good comp would be like Spear SNS. Your regular Spear SNS disruptor, or someone running Spear Hatchet if they can get away with it. That's really good right now. But Great Axe SNS is the best build for a melee in Kill Squad, for the most part. You have They can keep up with healers. They can just bully anyone really. It just breaks stam. It breaks shields. It's just one of the best builds. So you'll have your 3 disruptors. You'll have your fire staff or your bow. You can run a bow in 9, and you'll have your healer. And you guys are just wrapping wide, trying to kill any quad DPS. So like fire staffs, any bows. You're trying to kill healers. And so you'll have your sender in 9 hitting the healer permanently, while your other 2 disruptors are dealing with like the fire staff. And the reason why we go after the light players in 9 and like in Kill Squad for the most part is the fact that if you pressure their healer enough and you pressure their fire staff enough, they have to retreat backwards. And if you start pushing them back, their disruptors are going to have to push back with them to peel. And that's what we want. 9 is about really taking that space. And the way to take space is you push that healer away from the fight. And now most 9 healers, all of 9 healers, what you have to do, I know Brimstone is a hard map, but any map that you are on, if you are 9 and you are losing, you have to go wide. This way. This will be defense, this will be attack. It doesn't matter. You have to play wide. The whole point about 9 is if you retreat into our road as a 9, if your healer retreats in the road, and which then leads to you guys going to road to help them, you've given up so much space. You've given up actually all of this space in Oppo. So now they have free range, all of their quad DPS, all of their 9, because 10 is just going to be out here doing their own shit. They're not going to even really be out here. If you have like good 10 white fight groups, they're just going to be stalling the whole time. So if your 9 loses and you play in road, you have lost this Oppo. Like, it's just doomed at this point. Their quad DPS are going to be out here just hitting all of these healers right here. You've led them into all of our healers. They're all dead now because like their 9 is just bullying you guys all the way into this road and just harming all the healers. And it's all about healer pressure for main ball. If your healers are pressured, you're not going to get as many heals. And so then that's
lost.
just... Yeah, basically. And you hear 9 lost, then your Oppo is just farmed for the most part. Unless your group 8 is just Giga Chats. So 9's objective is to never get hard wrapped. You guys have to just match each other. If you get wrapped, you have to comment immediately, like 9 is losing or 9 lost. But if you are losing, you have to go wide. The healer has to go wide. If your healer goes into the road, just bench them. If they don't want to listen and they keep on going into road. Because this is trolling your whole Oppo. It's going to especially troll your 8 because your 8's going to be, right here fighting this whole group. Your 9 gets pushed back all the way over here. Their 9 is just going to immediately go after your 8 healer. And then this 8 just in turn has to get pulled back because they're just getting fucked. 8, if you lose, I forgot to explain this. 8, if you're losing and you get pushed back, you're mainly just playing like right here and like bot left. You also don't really want to be retreating into road. Nobody wants to be retreating into road. It's just troll because that's where you're leading them into our healers. Never lead groups into our healer pocket. 8, you have to play life, play in like bot left, play a little wide if you can. Healer go wide if you can a little bit. Don't go so wide that you get caught by the 9. But 9 especially just cannot get wrapped. I will always say this and stress it enough. If 9 gets wrapped, you've lost Oppo. For the most part. Unless your 8 is just so good and your quad DPS are so good. So 9 and your quad DPS should all be trying to wrap and hit their healer. and their healer will have to go wide, and you just chase that healer out. If you kill healers, now if here's the thing, if you have killed their healer, don't necessarily chase a fire staff unless you are like already on them and kill them. Especially in wide fight, we don't chase lights if we've killed the healer. So if you killed the 9 healer, you've automatically won. If you killed any kill squad healer, you've automatically won. You're basically just gonna farm the group. And so as soon as you kill 9 healer, you can turn around and kill a disruptor or 2, but you should just immediately look to hunting or killing the group 8 healer, or just pushing them back, pushing all the quad DPS back, and going in immediately into road. We want to go into road as 9 so we can just pressure healers. Because if we pressure healer, like I said, we win point because they can't heal point. They can't heal bruisers, and bruisers are just going to die. Because now bruisers, they used to be able to just, like, you couldn't kill anyone with just your group, but now you're starting to be able to because of, like, the different compositions people are running, and, like, IGVG's just honestly, like, the most underrated role, and I think it's the best role. But, like, you are now able to just, like, die on point, even if your healer is just, like, not living. So that's why we stress it really hard. If you kill the 9 healer, and you kill like 1 or 2 disruptors, you've basically won. You should just have like your fire staff and your group just look into keeping or just hunting healers. If you want, you can just keep your 9 healer out wide with a sender and like another fire staff, and you guys just fight the remaining people, because a healer fighting with 2 people and 2 people not fighting with the healer is just always going to win. And then all your quad DPS are just going to look into this fight as well. And so 9 winning is always just going to basically win Oppo for the most part. 10, I'll go over 10 real quick. 10, you guys are just going all the way out here. It doesn't matter. Like I said, Brimstone is fucked. It's such a small Oppo area. Most maps you can go like really far wide, but you guys are just gonna be like fighting out here for the most part, attack and defense. It's just a 5v5, a strict 5v5, and the comp was 2 bows and 2 disruptors. It used to be a greatsword in here and like Scorp. Scorp is kind of making a comeback. You can kind of run it, but the whole point of like Hatchet is that it just counters it for the most part, because you can't CC a Hatchet unless you have like a Great Axe, which can still slow and cripple them and like keep them locked into place with the grab well. So your 2 disruptors will be playing Great Axe and SNS, and you'll have 2 bolt casters or 1 bolt caster, and then like others you can mix it up to like try to like get as much value, as much damage as you can. You guys are just gonna be fighting out here, doing your 5v5. And defense, if you're losing, you go wide. 9 or attack, if you're losing, you just go wide. It's all about just going wide if you're losing for kill squad, for 9 and 10 especially. So let's say you have you killed their healer. Let's say attack 1 and all their you killed the healer, the defensive's healer. They're gonna go wide. They're gonna try to drag you wide, and like that's not the point. The point is that attack shouldn't chase these guys that are going wide. If you killed the healer, the whole point of attack is that if you kill their healer, you look in. Even on a defense, both attack and defense. If you kill the healer in 10, immediately, it doesn't matter. Immediately look in. Have your bows look in. Not the whole group. Have your bows look into this 9 fight, because having these bolt casters look into the 9 fight, they can obliterate quad DPS, because quad DPS don't have a dedicated healer. So your bows should be looking for any light players playing in here, any healers, because those bolt casters are going to destroy them, because 9 fight doesn't really have lightning resist like 10 does. So if you kill healer in wide fight, your bows are immediately supposed to be looking in, while your disruptors and healer keeps the rest of the group occupied, because like the other group's not going to be able to do anything. Your 2 disruptors will be able to hold them as long as your healer plays life. And so like that's why we have our bows looking, because they're easier to kill. kill people over here. Like you can, if you wipe the whole group in wide fight, obviously have your whole wide fight group in going into the 9 fight. But if you only kill your healer, just have your bows look in. If you really want to be really like good, and if you're catching on to like the respawn calls, so like let's say respawns are just hit and you just now killed the healer, they're gonna be on a long respawn. Kill a disruptor or two. You can don't ever look at the bows because the bows are gonna be the ones going wide because they have that haste. They have so much haste. Disruptors and your whole group should just look at killing a disruptor or two after you kill the healer, because a disruptor is not going to be able to get out as good as a bow is because they're running hatchet, especially if they're just playing life. So like I said, if you kill healer, bows look in. If you are able to kill one of the disruptors or both of them, and then just look in, while the disruptors stay out here with the healer and fight whoever is left. I will say this too: a lot of kill squad, when they are, if they have one, they don't look at the respawns. You have to always look at the respawns. This is the whole point. We want space, sure, but like let's say all of their respawns are coming out of the fort, and our 9 is over here. These guys are going to kill the 9, and so you have to retreat back. 9, you have to just give that space up because their 9 fight is back. And so your healer or your fire staff should really be the ones that call that out, that respawns are coming. You disrupt, anyone can call it out. As long as you have someone calling out, hey, respawns are coming back. And 9 and 8, whoever it is, you guys are just retreating back and playing and replaying that whole Oppo fight scenario that I've shown you guys. You guys are retaking that space and refighting, going back into the fight when these respawns come in. You don't int the whole time in the road trying to kill healers, and then you just get killed by the whole respawn wave, and now we are down a whole kill squad because you didn't retreat backwards. You have to reset every single time. If you lose one player in a fight, just reset. Just retreat backwards a little bit, go wide, and just retreat. But don't let them free roam into our road. You have to contest them, even if you're down. Communication is key in Kill Squad. Make sure you always have a whisper set up between groups, or if you want, to your caller. You have to set up a whisper to your caller so they know what's going on in Oppo. Because the caller is not going to be able to just watch Oppo the whole time. That's why you have to have people communicating to your caller. That's how you win wars, is communication. That's the biggest thing. 7, now, instead of in the ramparts, fighting in ramparts like everyone knows, we're not doing this anymore. This shit is stupid. It's just not worth it. There's no point. The whole point now is that you're going to be fighting this in Bonfire, the 7 fight. This is the original 7 fight. This is how it used to be fought. Because back then we thought ramparts was stupid. You guys are going to basically be fighting in Bonfire. You can have whatever composition you want. Some people are running an 8 composition where they have an IGVG. Or you can just be you have 3 disruptors and 1 fire staff, 1 healer. So it's just whatever preference the army thinks what works. But the whole point is let's say this is that's kind of funny I said the whole point. The whole point of 7 fight is that you are fighting this whole Bonfire fight, and it's just another 9 fight. You guys are basically a 9 mixed with an 8. Every time you win the fight, you look to step on the point, but then you can also hunt healers too. If you're playing it if you have an IGVG, look to step on the point. If you don't have an IGVG and you won, try to have your disruptor step on point as much as possible, but really just look to hunt healers. And that's really all of 7. It's just another 9 fight. You're just chasing healer, trying to kill that healer, pushing them back. 7 especially, if you win your fight, it's automatic, just guaranteed really good pressure for us if we win our fight and our quad DPS are looking at, because your trio quad DPS will be here. and your trio quad DPS are maybe the ones that really like farm healers if you guys win, and then your 7 can just bully people on top of point. When we're calling like an all in and calling like people to step, kill squad should always try to step top of point, whether you're on attack or defense. Stepping top of point is really like the safest option because that's where all the healers are going to be stepping, and so you step top so you can bully their healers off of the point, and so that just like is less people stepping on point trying to stop the tick or get tick. Your disruptors are just going to block those healers, block all those fire staffs. You basically are stepping wherever the healers are stepping. And that's like those are all ins. So whenever we call an all in, it's usually gonna be at like 95% or 90%. That's when your caller's gonna call all in. Um, um, but yeah, that's basically what's gonna happen. Is that you're just gonna like if you're a disruptor or kill squad, you guys are just stepping wherever the healers are stepping, and just trying to bully all the light players off of the point so you can get that point. And all ins are just dysfunctional. But if your caller is calling an all in and you are not stepping on the point, it doesn't matter who you are, you fucking suck. I'll just say that. They will hate you. People will see it in the VOD and they'll be like, why is this person not stepping? It's an all in. They're gonna despise you. You have to be a soldier when an all in is called, and you have to find wherever it's safest, probably, to go. No, Sage, I'm not. You have to look into the step wherever you can on an all in call. You're probably going to die. It doesn't matter. It's all about just trying to get that point capped or that point not capped. To delay the tick or just take the point. Attack your defense. All in calls happen. You have to all in. I'm going to go over healer real quick. I'm not a healer, but I just will go over like quad healers. AoE, you're basically just padding point. You're just going wherever the biggest clump is. I'm not going to really talk about that. 8 healer, you're just healing 8 like a quad. Technically, you can play Rapier or Hatchet, doesn't matter. Hatchet's just kind of really good. Rapier's fine. Most quad healers will play Rapier, and most kill squad players will play Hatchet. Kill squad healers will play Hatchet because they can just run away permanently. 9 healer, all you guys are doing is just you gotta play your life. Kill squad healing is the worst thing in this game because you have to deal with all these freaking schizos trying to kill you, and it's such a rough time. Now, if you can survive, you can play your life. That's really good. But yeah, 9 healer. All you guys are doing is just playing wide. If you die, if your group is losing, you have to play wide. You have to calm to your team that you're playing wide. You guys are kind of like a conductor for your team. You can tell them like the situation. Oh, you guys are getting looked at by a bunch of quads. Play wide. If you're quad DPS, I mean. If you're losing, you just tell your group to play wide. 10 fight, you're just playing wide. That's all it is. One thing for group 8, let's say, because bruisers will actually step out. Let's say 8 is fighting inner lane right here. Bruisers, if your 8 is winning, a lot of times the caller will call a crash and oppo, or a caller will start telling bruisers to come step off to the point. As soon as you see bruisers 8 come off to the point, go wide. It doesn't matter. Just go wide. Get the fuck off. Don't die to these bruisers. 8, if you start winning but your 9 is losing, you can help them in this fight. You can help the 9, 8. 9, if you're winning and 8's losing, you can help plus in. That's why you kill their healer. But yeah, it just comes with like experience. It comes with like getting reps in wars and like knowing what to do at a certain situation. I'm just telling basic macro. Healer placements for like sacreds, for like quads. The biggest thing, the reason why we have you play quads, is just so that your healer can, get healing on the point. If you have all your healers just putting a sacred where the biggest clump is, they're only gonna have one sacred. Bruisers are only gonna have one sacred to step on, and they try to retreat into another, quad. There's no sacred there. We're just screwed. I know we have a bunch of patters. I know everyone, like, even though if you say you're not a patter and you're just a soldier, big numbers equals like awesome. But if you truly want to be a soldier as a healer and be like a great healer, you if you have a designated quad, so if you're a top left healer, you're always placing your healer in top left. Always placing your healer your sacred in your quads. And so all of our main ball can run around. If they have to retreat, they're retreating into a sacred. If your group is overextended into another quad and it gets heavy, you can always come back to that sacred right here. Now, there are certain circumstances where you have to place a sacred on your bruisers that are almost about to die and you have to D and everything. But this is what I want healers to mainly do. That's like your biggest thing you should try to like work on, especially is the sacred placement, because we want all these green circles on point to where we can actually be able to heal because they don't stack on each other. Whoever has the highest focus, the amount of focus, which is going to be your AoE, is going to get all the healing. And so we want to spread out our sacreds on point so the whole point is safe to step on for basically the most part. Obviously, there's going to be a bunch of meteor showers and oblivions, but like we just want to spread out our sacreds. Group 1 and 2, you guys are just basically plussing into a quad. I know it's going to, you're going to have 2 sacreds, but group 1 and 2, the healers in there, you have to not put your sacreds on the same side. So group 1 healer should be like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna put my sacreds left side." Group 2 healer is gonna say, "I'm gonna put my sacred right side," and you do that every single war. Um, for healers, like playing around the point, it doesn't matter where you have to play. You know, obviously, like strong side healers are gonna have to play like right here. Weak side, you're gonna play like right here because it's easiest. We don't want to be a healer playing out here. It matters. It's the same side for attack and defense. We don't want a healer playing in like where all the red names are. These are gonna get hit. But find wherever you can heal easiest from. A lot of strong side healers will heal from the complete opposite side if it's free. You can move around the point. You can go wherever you can. I'll occasionally see like a bunch of healers, like a single healer like playing in our road. Like let's say I'm on attack. This guy's like playing right here in our healer pocket. So it's basically just finding wherever you can heal for free. That's all that matters. Um, so that's like healer placements. Like for sacreds, we just want to spread out our sacreds on point so that our bruisers can live, our point team can live. And then just find a place wherever you can heal. I'll discuss like pushing in real quick before I go to fort. So when we push like into point, you're gonna have like your strong side quads. So we'll say from what I run 3 and 5 in left side. So my 3 and 5, my 8 and my 9, and my 10. My 10 is just gonna go super wide. My 9's gonna go wide. My 3, 5, and 8, you guys are just pushing past in this inner lane. And 3 and 5, you're helping our 8 get established in this inner lane. So they can play in this midline or play top left. You're pushing out like their oppo up so that you guys can like establish a great like hold and oppo already. And then 3 and 5, you are automatically, or whoever's in your strong side quads, you guys are just going back to the point. But it's about helping our 8 really push in, our kill squad push in as like a whole thing. So 3, 5, 8, and 9 can actually all push the point together, and 9 will separate and do their own thing and go wide because they have to go wide. The 3, 5, and 8, you guys are helping push this inner lane. And then 3 and 5, or your strong side quads, are going to the point, and 8 is just doing their own thing at that point. That's the oppo push. That you have to do that. If you're attacking, they're going to bring on defense. This is how defense works. Your top side quads, your top quads, they will be pushing up here with your 8 and 9, and they will be holding like a blockade like this and trying to delay you as much as possible from getting to this point. This is what defense should be doing with your 8, 9, and your top quads or whatever quads you put up here. You guys need to just form a wall and use all of your abilities to delay the attackers from getting onto the point. We want to stagger the attackers as much as possible. That's the whole point of delaying this push. Now, obviously, if they start making a point, then you just have to go to point. But that's the whole point. The attackers who are pushing, they want you. It's just like in Fort. I'll explain it in Fort. The defense wants you to fight in this whole area where they're keeping you, because then that just allows them their 8 and 9 just freely hit for no reason, like all their quad DPS to just pressure point and pressure their healers. So your thing is you cannot fight here. You have to fight. You have to push up. You have to push past them. Um, and then your bruisers have to push onto the point. As soon as these guys on defense see that your bruisers made it past and are on point, they're gonna have to match you guys on point because it's just extra tick because you have more feet on the point. So that's basically outside. Does anyone really have any questions? I will be posting this in each like Discord, about like how it, or just so you guys can have it. I'll go over this. So, how I was just explaining it. So like, basic raid plan. 7 and your trio quad DPS will go A. You'll give it if they just bring more and you start losing that A. Just immediately calm like, hey, we're just giving up A. Your whole main ball, 1 through 6 is going to be on B for the most part, unless you do a crazy split. Attackers will sometimes do like their whole main ball going to C, and then 7 or like, your weak side quads just playing on B with 7. It's just up to you guys. I'm just explaining like a main thing, like a main, a basic kind of macro. Your strong side quad DPS with 9 and 10, you guys have to step on C. Attack or defense, it doesn't matter. Unless they bring quads, if it's just a 9 and 10 fight with your quad DPS on C, which is normally going to happen, you guys have to soldier and just stand on the point and fight there. If you don't stand on the point, they're going to get free spin on the tick. Like attackers are just going to get free spin if they're stepping on the point. Attackers, you want to step on this point, on C point, so we can generate that tick so it applies pressure to the whole caller, the other army's caller. Because he's going to be like worrying about like, what's going on at C, guys? We got to send quads over there. And it's just because you guys are winning point because you're standing on the point and like bullying them off. Defense, you have to match. That's all about it. Like that's all that matters. On defense, kill squad, you just match wherever they're going, wherever their army is going for the most part. Your caller will recognize it. Like let's say they bring their 8 over into the 7 fight for some reason. They do a 10-10 split. That's what we call it. They bring them up. Actually, I gotta go C point. They do this. It's a 10-10. You on defense have to calm, like, their 8 is not here. I think they're playing whatever. Your 7 has to calm that their 8 is playing in weak side. That lets the caller know, because the caller is just going to be like, he's not going to really know. He's not going to be able to see. He's just going to think that we're losing one side because, like, it's plus. So that's why I'm saying communication is key with kill squad. But anyways, defense, you just have to match wherever their groups go. Fort phase. So the way we do it, you can have all quad DPS in one comm, or you can have them in their separate comms still, and they are designated one half of like the fort. So like your trio quad DPS can be like playing, this whole side, and your duo quad DPS can be playing this whole side, and that's just like what we like. I think that's just honestly better instead of just running all 5. I mean, running all 5 is nice too. And you guys just basically running around and hunt healers or just like going plus wherever we need the caller asks. But yeah, so we'll just explain. You're gonna have the way I do it, or the way sometimes it will be like this. Let's say for example, 3 and 5 and 9 will go to A point or C point. So this is A point, this is B point, this is C point outside. It's just swapped. A and C are swapped for the gates for some reason. Anyways, usually if you're on attack, your right side quads are going to go to the C point, and your left side quads are going to go to A point. It doesn't matter, but like that's usually what we want to do. We just want to make it simple. So we're just going to explain attacking for the most part. You're going to have your 2 quads and your 9. 9 will always be on C. 10 will always be on A. That's just how like everyone does it. So we're just going to stick to that. 7 is always at E, 8 is at D. Now, if you want to be cheeky, you can switch groups. You can swap groups. I would always recommend 7 and 8 go back gates. 9 and 10 go wherever on the side gates. But you can be cheeky and swap groups around, and the army's going to be confused. It just do whatever you want. But this is like the basic template. 1 and 2 will always be at B. And defense, all you're doing is just holding your gates. Now, an attack, you're just trying to get those gates down so you can go in. So, how we do it... Fuck, now I gotta be flagged. How we do it is... Your 10 with your quads. Once we win the C point on attack, all you're doing, everyone's playing over here, what we call waterfalling. Your back gates groups will go over there, 7 and 8. But everyone else, we're hitting these horns. They'll have horns up. And all your rangers hitting the horns. Your caller or whoever will be placing down cannons. So you can take down these horns. That's waterfalling. Once we take down these horns, then point group, and then your other gate will be going over here, and we're waterfalling. And so now we're hitting B point. We're taking down all these horns because the horns are what gives the defense, buffs and shit. We want to take this down as much as possible. And so then we're also, while our melee are hitting the gates, our range are hitting the horns over here. It's the same thing over here. Once we go back to our own quads, they're our own gate. We're hitting the horns. We're getting them down. All range are getting them down. And we're just hitting those gates. I fucked up. I have to go back to the sanctuary. But so it's always attack. You always have to hit the horns and get them down. That's what matters the most. And so we're worrying about our gates, 3 and 5, 9, 4, 6, and 10. You guys are worrying about your own gates. The whole point is to not die on those gates, whether it's a defense or attack. Defense, you're trying to stall them as much as possible. So you are throwing your gravs out, you're throwing your ice walls out, whatever. You'll have you'll have 2 anchor groups and 2 flex groups. I always do like my bot quads will be my anchor groups for some reason. It doesn't matter who it is. So anchor groups are who stay at the gate. Your flex groups are wherever your caller asks them to go. You guys go. So anchor groups, you guys when the freaking war starts, you guys are getting repair parts. You guys are getting repair parts. That IGVG is getting repair parts, and they're going to try to repair as much as possible the gate. And that's your anchor group. They're just staying at that place, at that gate, and trying to repair it as much as possible when the attack pushes in. Attackers, you have to... Jesus, I hate it when it does that. Attackers, you're just trying to push past them to point when the caller calls push in. And let me run over there. I'm just gonna explain where healer should go and where kill squad should go. But like point groups, like main ball, you guys are just trying to push past them and that's when we say like cleanse and push. You just cleanse so you can get past the ice wall and everything. Go straight to point. If you're attacking, you have to go straight to the point. So you can tick as much as possible, catch the defense off guard. Defense, you're just trying to delay them as much as possible. If they run past you, try to kill their healer. Your kill squad will try to kill the healer. That will really help the main ball. If you lose a gate or they just push past you defense, you have to go match at point. And so attack has to bring it to point. Defense has to bring it to point. Everyone just becomes a main ball fight on the point. Now, a defense for kill squad, you guys 9 and 10. Your whole thing is that you guys are going on top of the gate, B gate, and fighting up here. The whole point is getting your healers and fire staffs up here. Your disruptors are delaying the attackers from coming up to B, because attackers, we also want to get on top and B control, because we want all our quad DPS to look at the point and all our healers to be free casting point. And so if we get top B control, that's perfect for a point group. for our main ball, like healers and stuff. So 9 and 10, your whole point, if you're on defense, you already have your healer and your fire staff up here or whatever your range up here, while you have all 3 of your disruptors or wherever your disruptors are on the shop or like down below, delaying them from going up top. Attackers, your whole point is to get up top and get your healer and fire staff and kill whoever's up top here, control. So then now, if you're on attack or defense, if you won that fight up top, your disruptors go down and hunt healers. The whole point for disruptors in fort is to hunt healers. And where healers are most likely going to be is this whole B choke. So 9 and 10, this whole half is basically going to be your area of influence. So I'll write it up in like it's going to be like one big quad for each group now, and it's just kill squad. So let's say this. Oh wait, I should go up top. This would be way better. For defense, or for attacking and defense, for disruptors, when you win your fight. If you win your fight, whatever group you're in, 7 through 10, gotta find my cursor. We're going to separate this whole fort into the quads. 9 and 10, top of B is your first priority. Win that fight up there, then drop down. This whole half is your priority. Hitting healers wherever you want in your quad. Like, we're expanding the quad for kill squad in fort. 9 is going to be this whole area, your bot right. 10 is your whole like bot left or whatever. And obviously, it's not bot left, bot right. I'm just saying that right now. But you're just hunting healers. Now, you can go plus back gates. If you see that healers are not in B choke or on this dirt, and they go back gates, 9 and 10 disruptors, go back and kill those healers in back gates. Same thing with 7 and 8. If you have no healers playing backstage or in hell, this is hell. This is heaven. Fuck. But yeah, if you have no healers playing there, you can play, in dirt, 7 and 8. You can plus wherever, as long as you're killing healers and you're not fighting your group anymore. Now, if your group comes back, 7 through 10, if you won your fight, your healer and fire staff should just be free casting up top. Like 7 healer and fire staff should just be free casting over there on those stairs, and 8 should be free casting over there. Disruptors are running around the whole fort just trying to kill healers and light. If you see that the group came back, kill squad healers, you have to immediately call your disruptors back to your first priority, which 9 and 10 will be top of B, 7 and 8 will be top of the stairs, because the 7 and 8 groups will be trying to get top of E and top of D control. So your range and your kill squad groups, your healer and your fire staff, or whatever you have, has to be calming. Yo, they are on their way. They just respawned. I need you guys back. And your disruptors have to listen and come back and redo that whole fight. And once you win again, disruptors, it doesn't matter, like outside of fort is completely different than inside of fort. All 3 disruptors or whatever disruptors you have in the group should be dogging a healer. Any healer, just chasing healers if you won your fight. Especially, like, here's the thing too. If you're attacking and obviously the defense is going to be holding you here or holding you at the gate, and the healer's up top and you know that, do not fight disruptors. Do not fight them in these chokes like on the shops or right here and back gates. You have to push past them, you have to cleanse past them, and immediately go for that healer. And if you pressure that healer, disruptors are going to come in and they're going to peel for that healer. They're going to chase after you. That's the whole point, is that we have to focus healers because it makes the whole group, it influences where the group is going to go if you attack their healers. And if you kill a healer in fort, you've won. And you just kill that whole group. And then you look for main ball healers. And all main ball healers are going to do is just play these certain areas. Oh my god, the camera. They're going to be playing, so we got their quads. All main ball healers are going to be playing here, in B choke, near choke, this is like near choke, on top of heaven, backstage, hell, or in dirt. And so if kill squad, if you won your fight, The whole point is for you to just hunt these healers wherever they're going to be playing. They'll even be playing by these inner horns and such. Or shops. Or on top of here. Just wherever you see a healer, every time you see a light player in fort, kill squad, disruptors, you should be killing them. While your range is free casting from up above. Some people might change it and they might bring 9 and 10 back here to backstage. Backstage, if you get plussed by quad TPs or whatever, you have to call it out so our caller can send help, and you guys just give your gate up. It doesn't matter. As long as you guys are alive, that's what matters, so you can help keep them away from point and killing our healers. Just give up point. Just give up the gate if they plus you. That's all that matters. Drop down to the dirt and play together with your other kill squad group because they're coming to help you because you called it out. 7 and 8, if you kill your group, your first priority is to hunt all the healers playing backstage and get them out of hell so that they go over here and then just chase them wherever in dirt. That's all that matters, is you kill your group, you have your healer free casting up above in your fire staff, and disruptors are looking to kill healers. That's basically really it for kill squad. That's like the most basic shit. Point group, main ball 1 through 6. It's just all about point. Oh, I'm capping the point. It's all about the point. Top quads, if you're attacking, you can play in hell. If you need to retreat, try to hit any healers that are playing here, any kill squad players. You can help this fight, but where it's all about generating tick as much as possible. So if we've killed a crash, we've killed someone, we're gonna hard tick this. They're gonna bring kill squad in. You guys just keep the kill squad off the point, top quads. And most of the time, the kill squads are always gonna step right here. Back eights are always gonna step top of point. And 9 and 10, which is gonna step right here on the side. And so bruisers really we're just looking to hit anyone that's playing in hell if you're playing top. If point is not really getting spun. But then we always need to be remember that you have to put your feet on the point to what's it called? Generate tick. Defense is all about just counter crashing. I've explained counter crashing. Actually I don't think I have. Let's say attackers are calling a crash. And this is defense. We're in the defense POV. They're calling a crash top right. It's the same thing with wraps as a counter crash. It's just that we're counter crashing. Defense should always counter crash. You can only push in you can crash first if there's a really good scenario for it. If you're not, but most of the time you don't want to crash first as defense. Defense usually wants to counter crash. And so counter crashing, they call a crash top right. We're just waiting, and as soon as they light up, you're...
God, your cock is so fucking big.
That scared the shit out of me. Anyways. We're just... As soon as the caller sees these guys light up with their deados, he's just going to be calling, okay, we're going to counter crash top right in 3, top right in 2, top right 1... Top right now, and then you guys just re-hit that. And so defense, you always worry about just play your quads. Attack is different, where you guys are trying to zerg them into a certain quad to where you can hit it, pushing the top. Defense, most of the times, just play your quads. Just play your quads. Play it kind of loosely, to where if your quad is heavy, you can go into another quad, say bot left is heavy, just go into bot right or go into top left. Just play wherever you can to step on point on defense. But defense is all about counter crashing, so we are not worrying about it. We're just worrying about if we die to a crash. So that's why defense, you have to play as loose as possible on the point. Although we need to step on point. But as soon as you start seeing your quad get heavy, you have to realize that they're probably going to crash on you and get ready to counter crash that. I think I have explained basic macro for the most part. We'll say, if bruisers, you're pushing defense, obviously we're throwing our grabs here. On attack, if we're attacking, I know it's kind of you want to press your deado, you want to kill these guys at the gates. But attack, we should really be holding our deados and our crash for when we get to point. so we can catch the defense off guard when they get to point and we just crash on them. Defense, also, we want to be saving our deados. Both attack and defense basically want to save their deados. I don't want you to be solo deading at the side gates, but like sometimes there's value to it. You just have to know when. But like really, the biggest thing, if you do it, if you solo dead at a side gate, it's kind of bad. We don't like solo deadoing anywhere. Just do it when the other bruiser groups, like the other side, has already wasted their grabs. Now you can throw your grabs, you just don't deado, I mean. But like if you throw your grabs, always do it when the other side has already wasted all their abilities. Never go in, never push out if they haven't used it. It's the same thing for like a crash, like a deado. Don't be playing on a quad and like inting on someone when they haven't even sent yet. Wait until they have crashed. If the other army has crashed and you guys haven't crashed yet, you can be very aggro and just like fight them. Because we have ascend, we have like the upper hand. That's like the biggest thing about defense. So yeah, it's just like that's about it. I have a war in like 30 minutes. Does anyone like have any questions though? Literally anyone. It doesn't matter. I think I've explained like mostly macro. And I will post this this video, this recording into your guys' Discord, so I'll give it to your leadership. Are we good?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
Yeah. Alright, I'm sure I'll see some of you in war. So, good luck.
Not me,
Have
sir.
fun.
You're safe from me tonight.
Thank God.
I'm so poopy.
Wait, you want to war for us now? I don't know.
I don't think you guys need me. Let me know if you need somebody, but I don't think so.
I got you.
Thank you, Daddy.
He's coming on me.
Alright, guys. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming out. This is really good. I like helping everyone as much as possible. If you have questions, just ask me. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm here to help though. And if you ever need like help with anything, just let me know. We're all friends on this game. If this game makes you hate people, then I don't know what to tell you. But that's just New World for you. We all know this. But yeah, anyways, good luck in everyone's wars. Have fun. Have a good night, guys. Love you all.
Good night.
Thank you, Moxie.
Good night. Thank you, Moxie.